Hello. Hello. Meow. 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 Happy Friday, everybody. Happy full moon. Happy last Friday of the month. It's really good to see you. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're doing great. My name is Jenna O'Malley. We are here to do a couple of sprints. Loki. It's like girl chat. I wasn't planning on holding you forever. Hi. I have Loki with me, of course. Hi. Morale, how are you feeling? So yesterday, if you missed it, we did a graduation ceremony of sorts to start our stream. Today, we're going to go ahead and do an induction ceremony of sorts to kind of balance it out a little bit and honor that just because it's the typical beginning of a school year, it's a season of change. We're in a harvest season for many of us too. So if you would like the induction ceremony August document, which if I switch screens would look like this once you click in to go to it. If you click make a copy, it should make your own individual copy for you. I'm going to go in and zoom in and hopefully that's a little better. That's a little better. If you do need me to reshare the link, everybody, please let me know. It should be pinned there in the YouTube chat for everyone, though. Kiki. She's scratching up my version. So kind of like yesterday. Take some time to answer the questions with the journal prompt below. Are you blessing my copy of this? Okay, apparently she is. So you're welcome to go ahead and type or dictate your answers and then print them. I went ahead and printed the page and I'll handwrite my answers on it, or you can just use notebook paper or blank paper, whatever you see fit in this situation. Feel welcome to share your answers in the chat if you so like as well. Kiki. Whatever I'm about to write on that paper must be a good thing. She's already blessing it. So yesterday, when you were all was said and done, I asked you to fold it away from you. This time, you're going to fold it towards you, and you're going to stick it under another glass of water to let it do its super solvent osmosis energy thing. If it doesn't in science, it probably did in spirituality first. So the questions this time around are a little different. And of course, dispose of the water and the paper safely. What I did this morning was I got up and I took the paper. It's biodegradable. I put it in my little trough out there and then let the water go into the trough to take care of my tomato plants. So it'll count as good carbon. It'll count as good carbon. So you can repeat the same situation here. You're welcome to join in on the questions. Induction journal prompts do ask, looking ahead at your next chapter, what is one practical small step you can take this week toward your career or personal goals? It can be something very small. It can be something very big. What core value or curiosity kept you going during the hardest parts of school? In this case, school is your business because your business is your homework per se. And how can you carry that forward into the unknown? Okay, so exchange the word school with experiences, things that happened. We're still learning as adults, whether we like to admit it or not. Third question, separate from external expectations or titles, and then ask, what does a genuinely fulfilling, grounded life look like for you over the next year? You don't got to do pages and pages. You can, I'm going to 369 this kind of written list, or I'm only going to do 7. What kind of energy do you want to put into it? And then finally, what truths are you accepting with grace and love of yourself about the now and the coming months? That question is last because it is probably the hardest question. However, kind of the other three might lead you to answering it a little bit more easily. Okay. Ladies here, hello, doing some tarot stuff and then reading the induction. There you go. These would be great tarot extension prompts. These would be really good tarot extension prompts, which is why last night I think us getting the sun was a good sign. So, speaking of tarot, thanks for that segue there, my friendo. Rhiannon is at 9, so in about 4 hours, we'll shoot for about 5 sprints as usual with a tiny break in between for those who'd like to enjoy both. And then, of course, if you want to find out about Take Back the Veil, I will be sending out the second round of vendor acceptance emails next week. And we are doing the Reading Expressway, a collaborative effort to raise funds for the Imagination Library on 9/25. It's going to be an all-day of sprints kind of deal. Why? Well, 9 to 5, of course. of course. So we have the 9 of Wands that popped out. Now, it kind of came out this way, which means maybe we've got questioning, motivations, exhaustion, fatigue. Take a break this weekend. After the energy of the week, we'll word it that way, acknowledging all that we lost this week, a lot of us need to take an emotional break. That is valid to call us out on that, Mr. 9 of Wands. But it's better in the upright for some people. You are showing resilience, grit in your last stand. Don't do it from a place of fatigue, though. 9 of Wands becomes a lot less burdensome when you go 4 of Swords along with it, okay? 4 of Swords is just telling you to go take a nap, or life is going to make you take a nap. 9 of Wands is kind of hinting at the same thing, okay? That's a lot of wands, wood, bamboo shoots, pens, whatever you want to call the sticks. That's a lot to carry. Your hand's getting pretty full. And normally you're going to start trading these out for the heavier metal versus the lighter, happier, kinder. So, this is a good time for some rest, some relaxation, some reflection to build up your resilience. That's something I used to say to a lot of my high school students. Oh, I wish I was a better napper. Even as a baby, my mother was grateful that I was okay to play in my crib and entertain myself, if that makes sense. I wasn't a badly behaved child, but I would not nap past the age of like 6 months if she was lucky. I've never been a good napper. And I'm one of those adults that if I nap, I'm actually in a worse mood than before I napped usually applies. So for me, I'm better off being one of those toddlers who goes to bed a little early and a little cranky, if that makes sense. Get out! Get out! Hi, how have you been? It's good to see you. I missed you guys the last few weeks. Worked in emergency medicine. Yes, you did. Uh-huh. My high school best friend, her mom was a labor and delivery nurse. She eventually opened an assistant living situation with her mom, and they co-worked and owned it together. And I think that's what she's still doing now. But prior to that, she was a labor and delivery nurse who was the on-call emergency labor and delivery nurse. So essentially, if out of nowhere, you have a couple extra babies suddenly walk into the emergency room, hey, can you get here in 45 minutes? We need you for like a few hours on your day off. She was usually that nurse. And often we would be in the middle of a number of things. Like there was one time where I live now, Hagerstown is like the shopping mecca of the area. It's called the Hub City for a reason. And so we would drive from where I grew up in Cumberland to here on occasion to come shopping, in the early 2000s, late 90s. And there were times where we were part of the way down 68 going east toward Hagerstown. And this, was when cell phones first became a thing, and prior to, she had a pager. But we would have to turn around and she'd be like, ladies, I'm sorry. We were so glad when both of us got our driver's licenses for that reason, because mom was able to go do mom things without, that was a matter of, okay, let us drop you off at the house and us go back out. But thank you to those of you who serve in emergency medicine. We do need you in all the facets that you serve, on call, regular rotation, and not. Gail, it's been a rough, it's been a rough last couple of weeks, and you're slowly getting back into the swing of things. I'm glad to have you back, for sure. This year, kind of reflecting into the 2 sets of journal prompts we did last night and tonight, this year has made a lot of us question things possibly unneededly in overdrive. Mind you, I'm a Virgo and I'm saying this. And I think a lot of us are going, I'm taking my breathers when I need them. They might not look like naps. For me, my breather is literally, let me sit here and play a video game, or just let me sit here in the silence and enjoy the silence. Learning how to do that, ooh, that's not easy for some of us, and that's totally okay. Sarah can't even begin to tell the amount of times you've been interrupted. Yes, you've only take 2 cars to things. Yes, very yes. This was her life through most of my friend's childhood, and her opening her own business in nursing assistance is what stopped that on call a little bit, because she said, yeah, it's my business. My mom takes the night shift, or one of my daughters takes the night shift, and we kind of all work together. So yeah, it's great when you have that team that you can balance on. I know that a lot of what we have going on in education is also a problem over there in scheduling for nursing. We have this category called other duties on our contract, and they're just like, here's another duty. Here's another other duty. Here's another duty. And you're like, I am one person. I am one person. Take care of you and take care of everybody else second, please. You can't pour from a dented, broken, leaky, empty cup, half full or not. Again, this is the Virgo saying this. You can do this. Am I saying it to you all or saying it to myself? Yes. On that note, we'll see you all here on the other side of about a 30-minute sprint, everybody. We went to the bonfire last night. Let's go to the beach today, shall we? Oh, beach. See you soon. I gave myself a baddie coda moment talking about 9 to 5 earlier in the stream. Now I have, well, working 9 to 5 stuck in my head. Anywho, not a horrible song to have stuck in my head necessarily, given what the whole movie / musicals comedic coverage is. If you've never watched that movie, do so. Whoa. Or the musical. So, how did it go? I did the journal. I took care of some mental health things and reread what I wrote last. I have had a very productive afternoon. I actually took this morning off, per se, and caught up on some rest. Just kind of refilled the well, did some chores, that kind of thing. So I'm actually done my chapter. I have one last chapter to edit for my book next week. Woo! Holding that for the 31st specifically. Worked on my goals for the current client edit I'm working on. And by the way, I have openings. If you're looking for an editor, let me know. And so that freed me up to focus on new words tonight, which I'm going to enjoy so much. The current new to me non-Myrna overlapping series. It's called the Healing Rivers series or the Healing Rivers saga. The question behind it is, what happens when all the rivers in the world dry up? It was a question I had a couple of years ago, not realizing it might actually be apropos to the times, per se. So it's very Studio Ghibli. If you've seen any, if you've watched Nausicaa, if you've watched, Studio Ghibli, if you've watched Nausicaa, if you've watched Princess Mononoke, it has the kind of those vibes to it a little bit, and I'm kind of digging it. Sarah is really struggling with being in limbo. Why still? It stinks. You really want this job. You really want this job. They need you to have this job. So much red tape, though. I have some answers to your next question here in a moment, and I'll elaborate on because short text boxes do apply. Louise, hello! New words. Congratulations. Glad to have you here for. If you all wanted the deck I drew from earlier, there is the link for. And if you're on YouTube and it gets weird, there's the Twitch link. And if you're over on Twitch, hello. And you want to go ahead and vote on the poll I have up on the YouTube end, feel welcome to go and hang out wherever you like. Hey, Replay, how are you doing? Mars, hello. Listening to audiobook. You've got, is that 100 or 1,000 words today? Just past the halfway mark. Congratulations on the progress. Slow progress counts. Enjoy those small milestones. Thank you for the correction. I can type English sometimes too, and I'm a former English teacher. I feel this. It's totally okay. You is human. Gail, that's a rough decision picking concert tickets while the options I gave are good ones. Avril Lavigne. Oh, yes. She's one of the voices that shaped my love of music, very much so. I was a pop punk emo rock kind of girl. I would wear I'm still wearing the really, really dark clothes. Let's get real. So says the chick who's wearing a black t-shirt and floral but black shorts with it. Can't really see, but yeah. I used to do black lipstick and then eyeliner. That's all I would wear. Maybe lip gloss instead and some eyeliner and like the chains. And some of you don't know this. I have 7 piercings in one ear, 5 in another. Most of them have closed up. The tattoos are for kind of a reason because it is part of the culture a little bit, not just. They all are meaningful tribute tattoos, and I might be getting a new one. Finances allowing here soon. I might be finally getting my angel baby on my arm. Finally. Or something like, I have not been to something like a Warped Tour or Ozfest in ages. The last concert I would have gone to, I guess NSP and Starbomb kind of count. They kind of what. But before that would have been Delane and Hammerfall when they toured together. Was that it? Would have been Delane and Hammerfall when they toured together. Which, if you didn't know, the title of my books actually was inspired by a Hammerfall song, Bloodbound, bound by fate and blood, bloodbound, ha 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 ha. Mars Warped Tour, but Oz, yes. I liked these because this is how a lot of us Americans found out about things like European metal. Almost called it what it is. Unaliving metal is not fair to call it that way either. But I listened to like Epica, Nightwish, Camelot. I found out about Camelot through people's Ozfest journeys, put it that way. Sarah, what does the moon say about limbo and waiting for what you really want versus trying to move on to a different opportunity? Yes, a lot of stuff is happening astrologically at large this week. For one, let's celebrate some good things before I get into the truth about what this moon is doing. First of all, welcome to Virgo season, everybody. So the urge to get your ducks in a row are accurate. Okay? Again, I'm a Virgo saying I feel it too. But I'm a September Virgo, so I'm also going to acknowledge I can take the next couple weeks and wait. Okay? So it's more like the next couple days and wait. So you probably have this urge to get it done, get it organized, and do it right now. That's the sun energy you might be feeling. Sun is in Virgo. It is Virgo season. The moon is in the sun's direct natural opposite, Pisces, the dreamer. I love thinking about this thing. This thing feels so cool. Mind you, I am a Virgo sun and Pisces moon, so I'm literally making fun of myself right now. Okay? The other big thing is the moon is in Pisces, the end of the zodiac from last night through the weekend. Okay? It's going to eventually get into Aries, the beginning of the zodiac. But keep in mind, mutable signs. There's 4 of them. And guess which all are in my chart. Anyway, if you are any of these 4, a Sag, a Virgo, a Gemini, a Pisces, or you have it a lot in your chart, not just your big 3, if you know your astral charts, you might be feeling like somebody's rattling your cookie jar without intending to open it and take anything out or put anything in. There's going to be a little bit of delayed gratification. And a lot of us are already going, I've waited long enough. You're almost there. Yes, it's the end of a season. So what are your intentions to do with this new chapter that is starting? Does the graduation ceremony from last night and the induction ceremony for tonight make a lot more sense? Yes, because sometimes you got to release the bad and the good. You need to stop and go, there's a lot of bad things going on right now, but at the same time, I'm going to own that I did these cool things along the way. Because it's okay to acknowledge that your level up is coming. A lot of us are going into a harvest season. And this moon said, if you haven't felt it yet, it's starting, okay? So the end of summer is coming. The first true harvests in a lot of cultures happen end of August for your earlier crops or multi-pick crops per se. So yeah, it's kind of your human nature, your biological human calendar is picking up on the, oh, look, A, B, C, and D is happening. I got to get ready for winter. Okay. Gail, it went good, though not sure how many words yet. The power of the word yet. Such a small word. So much power. Handwriting for the win. Glad to have that body connection here with your mind. Louise, 700 words for the sprint. And now coffee. Get it, my friend. Hello, Baby Metal for your most recent concert. Nice pick. Yes. That's another group, artist, album makers, whatever you want to call them, that rotates on my listening lists. Gail, the last oh my God, Lindsay's. I did not see this live. I know people who did, and they said, Jenna, you missed a concert ticket worth its money. Because those of us who go to concerts know some concert tickets are not worth what you pay. Some groups put on better shows. When it's a music video, they're definitely a studio group. They're not entertainers on the road per se. You want to talk about two ladies who enjoy putting on a show for the sake of putting on a show and making people enjoy the show. Putting their energy together was ingenious. I will agree with this. This is why my favorite artist, Charlotte Vessels, I did not know she was best friends with the lead singer of Epica, and they went on tour recently in Europe, and I'm like, heavy metal gods and goddesses in this case, please come stateside when it is safe for you to come stateside. I understand why you might not choose to do so until further notice, but please, that is a concert my soul cannot miss. So yes, this concert, missing out on concerts like this is why if it's a concert, I know I try not to miss. I do what I can to not miss. Spirit Box. I hear they put on a good shit. So you're seeing the one in September, is it? Or in October? Because like late September, early October? I didn't realize they were on tour then. I thought they were on tour closer to the holidays starting like in November. Yes. Yes. Within Temptation puts on an amazing costume show. If you want to talk about a band that has a style in how they dress, look them up. Look them up. Happy Friday, Lauren. How are you doing? It's good to see you. Definitely indeed. Oh! Okay. You win. That's a good choice. Wow. They're still doing shows together? That's amazing. Foreigner and Leonard Skinner. This is, again, another pairing that, from what I hear, they're not just a studio band. September in the UK. Oh, that's going to be glorious for you. And then, oh, man. All these people I didn't even know were on tour. Lauren's doing good. Head colds are going around right now, y'all. It is only August. The kids went back to school. The germ counter's up, up, up because of. Please take extra care of you. Second time you've seen Leonard. Oh, yes. Good. Okay, see, this is something that I think a lot of newer musicians don't do as well as older musicians. No offense, auto-tune has its place. You can tell a true performer when they don't need auto-tune on tour or to let the track sing for them. I grew up in the era of boy bands where literally they were learning to sing and dance without the track singing for them in airplane hangars, sweating their you-know-what's off. I keep that in mind when I hear about so-and-so was proven to be listening to a track. Were they sick? I will forgive them if they're sick because, you know, I was a singer for a long time in choir. I get that. But you can learn how to take care of your instrument is what I'm getting at. And you can learn how to adapt your instrument. At least that's what I was always told by my choir teacher. Oh, wow. Okay, now that must have been a huge crowd. That must have been a huge crowd. For sure, for sure. All right, y'all. So we are going to go ahead and get into our second sprint. See you all here after some time at the beach. right. Oh, thank you for your patience. While I finished up that sentence, how's is, I did about 500 words and change, which is usually my goal when I'm writing new words. How are you? How are you? Let's see. I know chat went back and forth a little bit. Let's see. Sarah took your daughter to see Dylan. Is that Conrique? Am I saying that correctly? Open for Cameron Whitcomb. I hope I said those names correctly. Is her absolutely biggest idol. They were about 5 rows back. Wow. So yeah, your child was like a kid on Christmas morning. Let's get real. And so were probably all the adults up that close. Absolutely, it was amazing for Lauren. That was the 4th time you've seen them, but the 1st time for Santana. Like, you want to talk about somebody who knows their business about their instrument? There you go. Louise, stepping out. Happy birthday! Enjoy your evening. Gail, all is good. Got some more handwritten words. Love it, love it. So, looking at the calendar ahead for me, I know that I don't have any streams scheduled after today. I'm in the process of deciding what to do with a couple of the platforms I use. I haven't found an alternative for StreamYard yet. I'm working on that. At least not one that lets me do everything I do without jumping through a bunch of hoops. That's where I'm at there. I'm trying to leave Canva. I would like to be required to opt into all of the AI stuff, not out of. And I'm getting pretty tired of certain apps putting it in my face constantly. So I feel honestly kind of betrayed a little bit by Canva, because I used Canva to not only run most of my business, but run most of my classroom. So I am not against technological advancements. I am against them if they harm Earth. I will say that. I probably did watch a little bit too much of the Miyazaki environmentalist movies growing up, because, yeah, the first movie I ever watched was Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind. I think we're slowly headed there, everybody. So Lauren will tell you one of the best concerts. Oh, Aerosmith. Johnny Depp was filming a movie in town and played guitar. Nice. Aerosmith also grew up right where you live in Rhode Island, so you're on the East Coast with the rest of us. And I thought they played up that way for a reason. The Queen of Concerts, yes. Though I will say this, because I live now an hour and a half drive from Baltimore. I can get to the concert venues that are in downtown Baltimore in like no time. And those smaller venues are usually cheaper. Like, forget the Fillmore down in Silver Spring. I'm not even counting that. I'm thinking about Ram's Head Live. I guess it would be Powerhouse Live, is it now? But I like going to the Baltimore Sound Stage. It is a bar, black box studio, theater, club mix. Like, they've held not just, like, Delane has been there, Camelot's been there, Nightwish, I think, has done stuff there. The shows there are more intimate. You are literally, the pit does not have room to get big, or the pit will take up the whole concert viewing floor. I like going to little shows like that. Usually, one, they're cheaper. You can usually get the price of a VIP ticket there at the price of a non-VIP ticket elsewhere. But I also live not too far from DC, so Silver Spring, the Fillmore. I also live right south of Harrisburg and Hershey, PA by a couple hours. And if you know anything about those areas, they are known for putting on affordable concerts. Bring a lawn chair. So, yeah. I want to go further rural. At the same time, there's conveniences to living in the hub city. Ooh, Slash opening for Aerosmith. Amazing. That's like bucket list amazing. Gail, your favorite venues are Redbox in Colorado and the Gorge. I hear that one's gorgeous. Puns intended and not. Julie, best show was Hearts Law. You want to talk about a group that's one of my favorite groups. Hearts Love Alive tour. Went with your mom. She'd never seen them before. Does she love them still? Is a valid question. Does she enjoy them still? All right. Number 3, if you need to go and listen to some good music, because we talked about some good music, go ahead and do so. If you feel inspired, see you on the other side of the beach, everybody. Hello, how are you? How are you? I finished up another about 500. I finished one chapter and started another. I'm getting much more to where I don't care about the length of my chapters as much as I used to. Put it that way. They are however long they need to be. And that's okay. So how are you? How are you? Meow. Meow. Well, jump up here then. Come on. You were sleeping out on the tower in the living room a little bit ago. Come on. Oh. Did you wake up? You're going to blend in with my shirt, but that's okay. That's allowed. Oh, your whiskers up my nose, though, girlfriend. That's not welcome. Hi, Kiki. Was your nap good? Was it good naps? Yeah? Yeah? Okay. Here you go, sweetie. Oh, I wasn't supposed to put you down? Okay, get back up on the correct shoulder then. Hello, everybody. As I try not to get tail whipped. Julie is a bigger fan of Heart than she is. She went to, oh, nice, an Ann Wilson Thing show after seeing them 20 times for Heart. Wow. I admire your dedication. Is this one of those groups that literally only gets better with every show? Sarah, 2 spots patched up, sanded drywall, mud, sanded primed X2, first coat of paint on it, and one more coat tonight. Yes. Oh, definitely yes. You also got the application turned in for your child, a specialty school. Nice. Pardon my hip burps there. Nice. I love this. Just a few more documents to send them, and that is a worthy start. I love schools like this. Some students need them. Some students really do. And I've seen students go to schools like this for maybe half a school year to a school year. They catch up and they go where they need to be on the next level too. Some of them need to be there for a few years. Some don't. One student who particularly comes to mind, they moved around a lot when this kid was in lower elementary, and they needed an alternative setting to reacclimate to school completely. Put it that way. Sarah, you don't totally understand astrological stuff. Keyword is yet. But you did understand the finishing part. So you're trying to wrap up projects that are done. That's where I would go. A good thing other than rest this weekend, if you feel called to do anything, work on stuff that's almost done. I'm starting something new, but it's finishing up a chapter as well in some other ways. But, you know, I'm finishing another book, so what am I going to work on, right? Miss Wiggleworm up there, Lainey, keep missing the breaks. That's okay. You're welcome here, and you're pacing your time in your stride. You know that. You had breakfast, and now reading. Nice. What was for breakfast? Do you like, of course, yes, both. Yes, I've heard of Dead by April. Was listening. They are one of those groups that the time signature of their songs and the backbeat of their songs is conducive to where I want to try and keep up a little bit when I get into a rhythm with typing. There are some songs I will listen to on purpose because those of us who are a little more musically inclined, I sang in choir and theater for about 12, 15 years of my life. We tend to lean into those processes if they come to us naturally. Yes, Dead by April is good for this. Another song, weirdly, I like to listen to is the epic metal version of the Gerudo Valley theme from Ocarina of Time, Legend of Zelda. There's this one person who did a metalcore cover acoustic of it. And it literally dun 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 dun, 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 I will notice my hands are kind of keeping up with the beat without me even intending to. So if you can find a group that gets you to do that, lean in. Yay, an appearance of the sweetest locarina of time ever. Hi. 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 Be cute. Yes. Well, okay, you are cute. Yes, you are. Where does my shirt end and the cat begin, y'all? Are you going to jump down or not? I don't want you to fall because you're perilous here. Julie, the length of your first chapter is what you're worried about today. Don't look at word count. Look at scene structure. Scene structure usually wins over word count, in my opinion, at least. Julie, you think so? Especially when they progress back to the more crunchy sound. Gotcha. Gail, you have to check out that song. Yes, this has been a good week for talking about good songs to listen to as well. So I welcome it in. Are you ready for another sprint locarina time? Yeah? Yeah. You ready? You ready? Meow? Oh, no, Mama, I will not get down. I will nuzzle in closer to you. Oh, yes. Iron Maiden, the Trooper. Oh, there's a song I haven't heard in forever. Yes. Yes. That's a song I haven't heard in ages, it feels like. Oh, my goodness. All right. We are going to, I guess I could technically do this one, huh? I guess we could technically do the if you see a random Loki one to start, huh? All right, y'all. See you all here in about All right, y'all. Pardon me. Oh, I'm so sorry. I thought I was able to click my mic there. I thought I clicked off. I apologize. How are you? How are you? It's autumn time. I'm starting to I think I have sinus stuffs going on. So, how are you? How are you? I was a little slower that time. I'm gonna admit I checked out mentally for a little bit after spending some time with Loki. I did get a couple hundred words. We shall see. We shall see. I might have to do a jump ahead, start the next scene, and then come back and connect them later, which is also allowed. That's what revisions are for. Anywho, Sarah, Disturbed. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. And I also like that Disturbed and a lot of older musicians whom have been around for a while have done this, have noticed this too. A Disturbed concert is now a family affair. And they're not one of the bands I would have associated that with. However, they make it clear, do not mosh with a little kid who doesn't want to be moshed with. Be very aware of the people around you, because the person that you might be stepping on the feet of or bumping into or accidentally elbowing is somebody else's insert family member here. We want you all to get along with each other and have fun. You brought your family here. You trusted us to give you that good time. Let us hold true on that trust. And I'm like, from one of the hardest concert experience ever, yes, I am okay with the metal scene, and the metal scene is pretty protective of the kids. I will say that, more so than other areas. But yeah, definitely so. I like you brought your family here and the trust. If you are in Hagerstown tomorrow, I am going to be hosting a workshop at Next Chapter Bookstore downtown. And it's one I've done with all of you before, how to start a YouTube channel. Next month's workshop with them is a blast. I write band-worthy books, do you? Kind of looking at the sensitivities and the reasons why you might want to write banned books and why they are totally appropriate to be published. Gail, if you had a teleporting machine or Nightcrawler's content. See, I love the blue fuzzy dude, so I appreciate you. I will be recording the workshop, so you'll probably get that Tuesday. Back up, Jenna. You guys will probably get that tomorrow because it is an earlier workshop. And I should pretty much just have to come home, film a quick little intro, slice together a couple of things, and put it up online for you all. I have an update vlog coming out on Wednesday, somewhere in there, for Take Back the Veil, of final announcement of who's participating, and a couple of people have asked whether or not we are extending signups. I'm going to talk about that in the vlog. So I'm also looking to try and get into other bookstores in the area. I've already contacted the one in Winchester, Virginia, and Frederick, Maryland. And I'm trying to get to do some workshops and things there too. So it's gonna be fun. And I've already started planning next year's tour. some applications are already open is why. So I hope I get to go back to Mythicon. I love Mythicon so much. And if I don't get accepted as a vendor, I still might just go up for the day. It doesn't fly because it was a blast. So we have time, don't we? Yes, we do. We have one time here for a wrap-up, wind-down, final sprint, y'all. Rhiannon does start in about an hour and change. So we'll be able to do our half an hour stream plus get a half an hour stream, goodness, half an hour sprint and still get you a decent break in between. So I'll see you all here after one more trek up and down the beach together. All right, everybody. Switch out here. Welcome on back. Thank you for spending a couple of hours with the group this evening. Thank you for being part of our cafeteria table, per se. Rhiannon does start in about 44 minutes. So go get a break, get out, move around, get some food, and I hope to see you over that way here in just a wee bit, y'all. Okay? All my hugs. You rock. You matter. Julie went ahead and ducked out. Have a good night. Carla stopped in on the way home from work. Are you coming to Rhiannon's with us? Sarah got a shirt finish for your cousin. A kidney donor saved my life. Thank goodness it did. Also got a second coat of color on the 2 spots on the wall, patching up. First coat dried really well. There you go. Nice. I love it when it's 2 and done. Gail, you're very welcome. All the hugs. Thank you for being part of my community, everybody. Thank you for being part of my table. Rhiannon does start here in just a little bit, so I hope to see you over that way. And if I don't see you in the replay of tomorrow's workshop, Sunday Scaries, we might be going back to Tiny Bookshop members